Do you avoid classic Sudokus that have less than 20 digits in the starting grid? Are you worried that they might be too tough to solve? I'll show you how to take control of these types of puzzles, plus shatter a popular Sudoku myth. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go, and with that, it's solving time. Look at the threes here in block 8. You have a 3 cutting across row 8, and this 3 coming down column 6. Only place for a 3 is right here. Greetings, friend. This puzzle is called The Absolute Minimum by Yoshi Broshi. Thank you so much, Yoshi, for this beautiful puzzle. As the name implies, it contains the minimum number of starting digits for a classic Sudoku, which is 17. Also has an elegant symmetry to it. So if you look and you try to fold the puzzle on top of each other, you'll notice these two digits have counterparts right here. The same with these two digits. And with these 3 and these 3 and these 2, and these are on that diagonal. Beautiful, elegant setup here, and it's going to help you shatter a myth about these types of puzzles, while I also give you a few tips to help you take control of 17-digit Sudoku. So how far can you take the threes? We've only solved this one so far. With this 3, we can put a 3 right here. And with these two 3s, you can put a 3 here in block 1, and with these two 3s and this 3, put a 3 in block 3. With these two 3s, only one place for 3 in block 6, and you notice you have 1, 2, 3, 4 3s all staring into block 5. That means there's only going to be one place left right here in the middle. You can mark the last 3 right there. Try the 4s now. With this 4 and this 4, the only place for a 4 in block 4 is right here. And with these two 4s and this 4, you can put a 4 in block 7. And then with these two 4s, a 4 goes here in block 8. And then these two 4s, you'll notice there's only 2 places for a 4, so I'm going to use a little Snyder notation. Anytime a 3 by 3 block, you have 2 possibilities for a candidate. You mark it. In case we solve one of those cells, we can solve the other right away. And this leads me up to the first solving tip. These 4s also act as a pointing pair. So a pointing pair means since the 4s are restricted in column 5 to block 2, 4s cannot be anywhere else in column 5 outside the block. So you cannot put a 4 here anymore, because if you put a 4 there, you'd have no place to put a 4 in block 2. And so what pointing pairs do for these minimal digit Sudokus is it really extends the reach of certain digits. And so by not having a 4 right there, with these two 4s and with this 4, there's only one place to put a 4 in block 5. And then we can put some Snyder marks up here as well. And before I move on, I do want to hear from you. This is my first tip using pointing pairs in a 17-digit Sudoku. What tips do you have for solving 17-digit Sudokus? Drop in the comments. Help me grow the best Sudoku community on YouTube. Share what you know with other viewers, and I answer every single comment. So let's see what we can do now with these 7s. You have a 7 here, cutting across row 3, and this 7 coming up column 5. Only place for 7, block 2 is right there. And with these two 7s and this 7, put a 7 right here. And with these two 7s, you can put a 7 right there. And then with these two 7s and this 7, 7 in block 9. And with these two 7s and this 7, a 7 in block 7. And the last 7, you can put in block 1, because there's 4 7s looking into it. How about those 5s? You'll notice you have a 5 cutting down column 7, a 5 cutting across here. Only one place for a 5 in block 9. And then with these two 5s, only one place for a 5 in block 8. And then you might notice is we can do another pointing pair of 5s, because you have a 5 cutting up here. Column 3, there's only 2 places for a 5 in block 4. So they're going to act as a pointing pair. And then with this 5 and this 5, there's only one place now for a 5 in block 5. And with these two 5s, you can solve for a 5 right here. And this is going to lead us up to our next tip. So the second tip I have for you, quite common in 17-digit Sudokus, is what's going to happen up here in block 3. Notice you have a 5 cutting across row 3, and then you have these two 5s going up the columns. So the 5s are limit is the same two spots as the 4s. This situation where you see Snyder on top of each other creates a hidden pair. What it means is the 4 and 5 both have to be in block 3. They're limited to the same 2 cells. So nothing else can be in those 2 cells. And so a pointing pair will extend the reach of a certain digit. Hidden pairs act what I call, they add some girth, I say, to the puzzle. So instead of just having one given, you have 2 cells with 2 digits in there that are going to prevent other digits from being in there. So you're going to add a little bit more weight to this puzzle by putting in this hidden pair. Very common in 17-digit Sudokus. Still going to get to that nice myth, though. I haven't gotten to it just yet. But let's see what this 4-5 hidden pair does for us. Okay, let's look at the 8s. You have this 8 coming up column 5. There's only one place for an 8 in block 2. And then with these 2 8s, you can put an 8 here in block 4, block 5, and then in block 4. And then down here in column 7, and with these 2 8s, an 8 in column 9. And then with these 2 8s and this 8, put an 8 here in block 1. And now those hidden pairs are going to help you out because these 2 8s and this 8, and because of this 4-5 being right there, the only place for an 8 in block 3 is right there. Now with these 2 8s and these 2 8s, we can solve for an 8 in block 6. So nice job using that hidden pair. Now I want you to check out this cool pattern, and then I'll shatter that commonly held myth about 17-digit Sudokus. First of all, we're going to notice that the only place to put a 6, because of this 6, is right here. And you might notice you have 3 digits here with an extra. You also have 3 digits here in block 8 with that extra digit. We know we can solve this digit with certainty because you have a locked triple right here. This has to be what finishes row 9. But it has to be a 1, 2, 9. And so this cell can't be that. The same thing here. Whatever finishes block 8 has to be in these 3 cells. And it also happens to be a 1, 2, 9. So whenever you see this pattern, you know you can solve that cell with certainty. And it happens to be a 6. Another neat thing is what's going on in these bottom 3 rows is a technique called roping. You might notice there's a 385 right here and a 385 right here. It means that the 385 have to be in these 3 cells. And so you have a 674 here, 674 here. And so we could have just said, hey, 47, this has to be a 6. And the 1, 2, 9s are going to be in these sets. You'll see this a little more often in variant Sudokus, but whenever you see the same 3 digits in like a middle, upper, lower, that's that technique or that setting is called roping. Okay, so I wanted to show you that cool little trick there and kind of show you how you can guarantee a solve by seeing a certain pattern. And now I want to shatter this myth, okay? We're going to notice that with this 6 right here, you can put a 5, 6 here. Only leaves a 9 in block 4. And so the myth is that Sudokus that have less digits are harder to solve. So you have more digits, that makes it an easier puzzle. And I'm going to tell you that is not necessarily the case. There are several 17-digit Sudokus that are not that hard. They don't require advanced strategies. Conversely, there can be some 30, 40-digit Sudokus that can be very difficult to solve. It all depends on the type of strategies, techniques, and the placing. Okay, I will say if you use and you do some of those, Sudoku books, I grab them from the dollar store all the time. They will add additional digits that don't need to be there, but they make the solve easier because they just fill in, 5, 10 digits for you to start off, and so it'll seem like that puzzle is going to be easier for you. That's where that comes from. But there's several 17, 20-digit Sudokus that are use just the normal strategies that you would find in my free Sudoku solving guide that you can get in the pinned comment to solve. And this one is no exception because you have a 1 here and this one. We're going to use those pointing pairs again of 1s. And you might notice, I'll just show you my neat naked triple trick. You need a 1, 2, 9 down here. I got a 1 and 2 in this column. And then this pointing pair acts as a 1. Column 2, we can solve all 3 cells, right? Because we know this has to be a naked single 9. The only place the 1 can go is right there, and this is going to be your 2. Okay, and then now we put the 2 there, and this 2, we can do some solving with the 2's. With these 2's, you can solve for a 2 right here. And then with this 2, you can solve for a 2 right here. And you can solve for a 2 right there. And then with these 2's, you can solve for 2 right there. All right, you might notice that we have 8 digits filled out right there. We need a 1, 2, 9. I see the 1 and 2 right here. So that's got to be a 9. And with this 2 repeated, we can do it, all 3 digits, right? We know that's got to be your 2, and this is going to be your 1. And now we can take this 1 up. Can't be in these cells. It's got to be right there. And then this one, you look in column 7, it'll only be in one of these 2 cells. So it has to be right here, which allows us to displace that Snyder mark and solve this cell for a 1. And then with these 2 1s, you can solve for a 1 right here and solve for a 1 right there. Remembering that this has to be a 9 to complete that 1, 2, 9 roping triple. So let's follow these 9s now. 9 can't be here. Got to be there. And then it's going to be here because I don't see it in block 5 yet. All right. And then with these 2 9s, I don't see a 9 in column 7. Only one place it can go is right there. And then with this 9 and this 9, solve for a 9 here in block 1. Solve for a 9 in block 2. I'm just using simple cross-hatching here. The only thing left in block 6 is a 6. So I'll just mark that 6 right there. Don't see a 6 in block 3. So here's your 6. This is going to be your 6, displacing that Snyder 4, allowing us to disambiguate the 5, 4 there. I always encourage you to remove as many markings as you can and have solved cells in place of that. It's going to make it easier for you. And then we're still following those 6s. So that's got to be your 6. You're going to leave a 5 right here and a 6 right there. We got 2 digits remaining. I don't see a 5 on block 1, so that's got to be your 5. And I don't see a 5. Actually, I do see a 5. What I don't see is a 6 here in block 5. So here's your 6. If you still think more makes easier, then try to solve this next puzzle that has more than 3 times the starting number of digits. Thank you so much for watching.